What do you do, good people? You know what time it is. It's that time when we speak about a couple of things that are happening around us. Ladies and gentlemen, today I bring you a new video. My name is Bafanam Tini, and I work for the ERID Project and the Khuzon Literary Club, which are both organizations that aim to cultivate a culture of reading and writing in our communities, most importantly, the townships. More specifically, the townships. Because the townships, that's where we need to have like a literacy revolution. Let me just phrase it like that. We need a literacy revolution, because with a literacy revolution, it means we'll make better judgment during voting times or during times when we have to make very difficult decisions, such as voting for the correct party. So today, I brought you this video mainly because I think people need to understand that when you are voting for a political party, you're not just voting for a political party. You're voting for the interests of certain businesses that see it fit that that political party be the one that governs. So I am focusing on three parties, obviously, the big parties of this country, which happens to be the EFF, the DA, and lastly the ANC. And these are the parties that have the most followers. And I believe these are the parties that have the most investment from outside, or that have more donors. So I just wanted to understand who is actually donating, to these parties that they can be able to campaign. And so I asked ChatGPT and Bing to say, who is the ANC's, investor or donor? And this is what Bing and ChatGPT 4 had to say about it. It says, and I'm just going to read it just as it is. I'm not going to say it with my own words. I think it just makes everything clearer. So this is what ChatGPT said. It says, according to the web search results, the main investors of the ANC are the Majestic Silver Trading Company, which donated 5 million rands to the ANC in May 2021. The next one is the United Manganese, which donated 2.5 million rands to the ANC in April 2021. And then we have the Nonkwelo Investments, which donated 2 million rands to the ANC in April 2021. And so it continues to say that these are the only donations that the ANC disclosed to the IEC in the first quarter of the current financial year, totaling 10 million rands. The ANC also owes about 102 million rands to a KZN company that supplied it with the campaign materials ahead of the 2019 elections. So as you can hear, the ANC has like a couple of donors, which happens to be the Majestic Silver Trading Company, which donated 5 million, the United Manganese, which donated 2.5 million rands, and the Nonkwelo Investments, which donated 2 million rands to the ANC in 2021. So, well, as you can hear, the NC has business people behind it as well. So let me just go down and actually go through the EFF's donors. So I said, who is funding the EFF? So this is what ChatGPT and Bing said. They said the EFF is a political party in South Africa that has been accused of not disclosing its funding sources as required by the Political Party Funding Act. According to the web search results, the EFF declared that it received more than 3 million rands in donations in the first quarter of 2022. The EFF's donors include Harmony Gold, South African Breweries, African Rainbow Minerals, SN Maseko, and the 360 Health. Many of these donors also donated to the African National Congress and the Democratic Alliance. However, the EFF did not declare any donations above 100,000 rands in the first quarter of the 2023. The party is widely believed to have received significant private funding, but did not declare it to the IEC. So the EFF is receiving funding from companies like Harmony Gold, which I believe is owned by Patrice Motsepe, the South African breweries, obviously the African Rainbow Minerals and SN Maseko and 360 House. Some of these companies I don't know of, but as you can hear, like they are getting donations from these companies. And so let's continue to the DA. I asked the questions like who's funding the DA, and this is the answer that was generated. It says the DA is a political party in South Africa that has received about 15.98 million in private funding since April 2021. The largest individual donor is Mary Slag, who contributed 15 million rands through the Open Hammer Memorial Trust. Other donors include Fynbos Equidate, Fynbos Capital, and Fynbos Trust, which are owned by Michael Leroux, the founder of Capitec Bank. Leroux donated over 50 million rands to the DA since 2021. The DA also receives public funding from the IEC based on its representation in Parliament and the provincial legislature. So, guys, those are the main parties that actually have received funding. So let's check who's funding UmKhonto Wesizwe. So I also asked about UmKhonto. So I said, who's funding UmKhonto Wesizwe? And this is what ChatGPT and Bing said, or this is what was the answer that was generated. The UmKhonto Wesizwe Party is a new political party in South Africa that is backed by former President Jacob Zuma. According to the web search results, the party has not disclosed its funding sources as required by the Political Party Funding Act. However, there are rumors that the party is funded by Iqbal Surf, the owner of the independent media. Surf has, or Surf, I don't know if Surf or Surf, I don't know, has denied these allegations, but the truth remains unclear. The party was registered by Jabulani Khumalo, who claims to be a former MK soldier, but this has been disputed by the ANC and the SACP. The party aims to challenge the ANC in the 2024 elections, but its support base and manifesto are unknown. So you heard it, folks. Those are the parties that you're voting for, and their funders that are funding their campaigns. So I want you to understand, the purpose of this video. I did this video mainly because I needed to discuss the fact that when you are voting for a party, you're not just voting for that party, you are voting for the interests of certain businesses. And those businesses have interests in the country because maybe they have invested in the country. So when you vote for a certain party, you are protecting the interest of that business or that investment or investors. Because say Leroux, right, who has been donated, you just heard what ChatGPT said and Bing, that he has probably donated over 50 million rands to the DA. Like, this person has friends who are also investors in the country. So if the DA loses, say, the Western Cape, Leroux might pull out his funds in the Western Cape and actually leave, you understand, and maybe go to put his money in offshore accounts because he's protecting his interests. So these are some of the things that you need to really think about. But how does this apply to you as a voter? This applies to you in a sense that when you vote for certain investors, right, you might have the EFF, which refuses to disclose its funders. But let's just assume that the EFF has funders from outside who are probably rebels or something like that. Or maybe it's receiving its funding because, the EFF usually promotes this idea of open borders. And so you have a party like that's promoting open borders, and you wonder why. It might be because there are certain foreign nationals that are funding the EFF and that are making sure that the EFF is where it is. Now, let's just say that the EFF wins the elections. You need to understand that that will change the dynamics of investment in the country. They're also depending on the manifesto of a particular party, right? If you look at the manifesto of a particular party, you will find that maybe the manifesto of that party is promoting things that will scare off certain investors from the country. And that will push us into places where we are losing allies, sometimes even Western allies. I don't know if we are ready to lose Western allies, or if we are ready to even go to war with Western allies because of certain affiliations that we are creating currently, such as BRICS and them. You understand? You must understand that Africa is a very underdeveloped continent. You understand? In terms of skills, in terms of, I guess, the military industrial complexes and so on and so forth. Like, we are really weak when it comes to such things because you must understand how much the state is investing in military, or just how much China is investing in military or Russia is investing in military as compared to an African country. So how much are we investing in military? That means our defense. And the reason why Africa is where it is because of that. It's because of the weakness as far as military is concerned. Because we do not have certain technologies, we don't have certain weapons, we don't have certain, I guess, capabilities to actually run a well-oiled army that can protect us from outside forces. So it's easier to invade countries like the Congo, Syria, and them because we do not have protection. Understand? So that's why I'm saying we are not ready to create. I don't think we are ready to create enemies with those outside forces. So when you vote for a party, you need to understand those types of things. You don't want to vote for a party that will put us under sanctions, because then that will harm the future of our children. Because I speak English today only because I was able to learn it in a place where there was a whole lot of harmony. Because fortunately, I've never been exposed to a civil war or to extreme poverty, although I am, in a way, at a disadvantage. But imagine a country where we are hit with sanctions and for some reason, we lose investors and businesses falter, and then we go into a depression. The depression brings us to a place where maybe we are sanctioned, obviously, and now we have to fend for ourselves and say things like social grants are cut off, things like feeding schemes in schools are cut off. What happens to the children? They will not be able to learn. I mean, most of us who went to township schools are actually grateful for the feeding schemes because they fed us. You understand what I'm saying? So we are sitting here today having these conversations with you, and we are products of the township school. Understand? And those social grants and those social, feeding schemes that were provided to us by the government. And so these are the types of things you need to put into perspective. Because I believe that, we have young people like, Talifani Banks, or, a lot of creative young people that are building strong businesses currently, that these businesses are so successful that, these people are becoming millionaires. Then these are young people. I do think that if we give South Africa another 20 years of just a peaceful state where there isn't a lot of civil war, yes, we are dealing with poverty, we are dealing with unemployment, but where there are no civil wars, and where we are able to work in peace, or to live in peace at least, without a lot of these, sanctions, we will be able to produce young people of a certain caliber that they can influence the politics of South Africa for the better in future without having to pick up a gun yet. And if we can produce young people who can think at the very highest level, we have a chance, I think, of changing things. So the reason why I made this video was for you to actually look at who you are voting for. What kind of investor are you voting for? You don't want to have an investor that is going to put us in peril and we are put under sanctions, or we end up in a place where we are a dysfunctional democracy because of the wars that might ensue as a result of certain manifestos. Understand? Some of these manifestos maybe mean well, but have you ever thought of investor interests? Because, I mean, we are living in a capitalist system, so you can't deny that. You need to be aware of that. So, yeah, I think I went too far. But I just wanted you to think about this thing. So who is investing in your respective political party? This is, I think, some of the research that you need to do and understand how it might affect you in the long run. And I think I made sense. I hope I made sense. Kopa lesantuaka, because I've had very, very bad comments from some of you guys. Please don't do that. Let's have a genuine engagement. You understand? Have your opinions. I have my opinions. Let's have positive discourse so that we can find positive solutions for our future. Because those people, those politicians, they are sitting there, they are getting 1.2 million as MPs, as members of parliament. You are not making anything by dissing me and cussing at me. You understand? You need to really, really think about your future and your children's future and your community's future. So with that said, I think I will leave it there. Good shalele. I mean, I just paid trademarks. I'm sorry, Robert Marama, and I think it's DJ's Boo with the peace.